today I just finished reading Lament by Maggie Stiefvater, and I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Lament is about a girl named Dee who plays the harp and sings and is not overly popular, or she has one friend, and he's really cool, but she is just not very out there. And one day this mysterious handsome boy named Luke appears, and you have no idea where he comes from or why he knows her, but he does, and he's attractive and adorable and mysterious. Dee finds out that she can see fairies and do other weird things, and this all starts happening whenever she sees Luke and isn't sure if it's connected to Luke or if it's a coincidence and if Luke has anything to do with the fairies or what. So what I really liked about Luke was that he always called Dee pretty girl, and I just thought that was super adorable. This book wasn't like superly well written or overly intriguing, or it didn't have any like passages of beautifully written descriptions or parts that made you think or anything, but it was a fun story and it was cute. I enjoyed reading this. It wasn't something really that makes you think, and it wasn't even super intriguing. Parts of it were, but for the most part it was just a fun story to me. But that's not a bad thing. It isn't super sophisticated, it isn't deep, it's a pretty quick read. It took me a week to read, but just because I was doing a lot of stuff this week and I just really didn't have time to sit down and read. But if I did, I would have read it a lot faster just because it's light and it was easy to get through and the writing was simple enough that it wasn't something that made you, it wasn't a heavy read at all. The only things that I really didn't like about it was that there was a few things that were not explained at all, like people who ended up being evil, and there was no explanation as to why or how they were evil and what their real motive was, and it just kind of was thrown aside. You were like, oh, this person's evil, get away, and then that was it. And then there was no more explanation as to what was going on with them. I thought maybe it would be described in the second one, but then I found out that the second one is about Dee's friend, so then it's probably not going to get described. It isn't hugely adventurous. Probably about half of it is about her finding out about the things that she can do and trying to find out more about Luke, and then the second half is where it gets a little bit more adventurous. But it wasn't like, I really don't know how to say it, it doesn't compare to other supernaturally type stories to me because I feel like normally there's more to them. Yeah, there just wasn't a whole lot to this story. It wasn't deeply constructed, but again, it's not a bad thing. It was just a fun story. It was just a fun read, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I gave it 3.5 stars because there were a few little things that bugged me about it that weren't like the things that didn't get explained, like the evil people. And just because it wasn't, it wasn't like super spectacular and oh my gosh, I think everyone needs to read this right now. But I definitely think that if you want something light to read, something cute, and if you do like fairy type stuff, it would definitely be an enjoyable read. There's nothing wrong with a book like this, and sometimes you need to read a book like this because it gives you a nice little break from the thicker, deeper books.